Hey, eighth grade. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Thursday morning. Filming this on Wednesday afternoon. I get to deal with a flat tire in my car, so I'm going to go to Les Schwab's after this. So let's make this quick, shall we? Announcements, reminders, things going on. So right at the end of second try right here, guys, this is kind of, for lack of a better term, put up or shut up time. So if you are on the border of a grade that you think you can get to, put in some effort, you might still make it. Okay, we end this trimester at the end of February. It's going to go fast. It's the 10th today, 11th tomorrow. So and I always want to remind grades, remember, you're on the cusp of high school. I've told you a few times before that grades tend to mean more the older you get. Now you're in the realm of like summer school, or you lose an elective, but pretty soon it will mean loss of credits towards graduation. Okay, so let's not mess around and give your best effort. And if you're close, let's see if you can get over that hump and get a better grade. Tuesday tunes. So I worked on some logistical issues there with the sixth grade, and I think we found a way to make it a little bit better throughout the whole school. Next Tuesday is the seventh grade's turn, and then after that is your turn. I know I've heard from Mr. Carter Payne about some requests. See one of your student council members. All right, they're putting up some surveys, trying to get the best choice, and get me 10 to 12 songs that are appropriate, and then you get to do that every third week. And I think it was pretty fun on Tuesday, and the whole point was really just to have some fun. Tuesday is my least favorite day. It kind of seems like a day that drags, so we thought, how about we have a little fun around here? Speaking of fun, thank you for, if you have already or you're about to, participating in the Trusted Adult campaign. You may have already watched a video that introduced Sources of Strength, what it is, and the different campaigns we might do. Maybe you're about to watch that, I don't know. But the Beaver Dam of Trusted Adult names up there looks pretty cool. At the end of this week, I can't wait to take a picture of it all done. And then I can't wait to see what our Sources of Strength team comes up with next time. But I do want to reiterate, I'm very happy that there's so many different adult names on there for folks at school that you may trust, that you can talk to if you need to. And of course, hopefully you have those people at home as well that you trust. You probably do, but I'm glad that you've got them here at school as well. All right. So we are moving on to, what is it, decision 4, I believe, right? We talked about school as one of the 6 most important decisions that you can make. Okay, if you're going to try to get the most out of school or slack off, certainly your friends, who you choose, the impact they have on you, what kind of friend you are back to them. Okay, we were just wrapping up parents and what you're going to do about that. We know that you can't choose which parents you got, but you can choose how you interact with them, the quality of relationship that you have with them. So parents, we're all done with that, but I again encourage you to treasure those parent relationships, and even if it's hard right now, be grateful for them. Okay. Decision 4, arriving perfect timing, just in time for Valentine's Day season. We're going to have a series of 3, maybe 4 lessons, pod videos about dating. All right. So here's my disclaimer. We've talked about dating before. First part of the disclaimer is about balance. So as someone who's taught 6th grade maturation to boys before, I think even this group, we want to strike the balance of not making anybody uncomfortable with the things we talk about, but knowing that a good portion of you, we're not going to blow your mind. These are things that you already know about. Okay. So that's not the goal, is to be awkward or anything. We don't want to be old people telling you guys how to date as young people. But it's an important enough topic that we do have to be kind of direct and honest, and we want to talk to you about those things. All right. The other disclaimer, I'm not the expert in all things romantic relationships, but I probably know a little bit more than you guys, just because I do have a relationship that's lasted for 13 years now. Okay. And so should have some fun conversations. Sometimes I wish I was in person so I could listen to you giggle and tease some of you guys. I won't do that in videos, even though I have some names that I could tease people about. I won't do it. I won't. Maybe. We'll see. So just a little preview. Looking over the chapter again, there's a lot about what intelligent, safe dating really is. That's kind of the bulk of the chapter. So we're going to split that in 2 parts, and just ways that can keep your dating experience fun, keep yourself safe, but also keep it smart as well. Okay. Then we'll talk about and bust the 4 great sex myths that people may have told you about sex that probably are untrue. So that should be interesting. maybe awkward for you. And then just talking about what a true committed relationship will be someday in the future for you guys. All right. So we've done 3 decisions already. So you guys are probably used to how Sean Covey writes this book. So we want to do a little dating checkup. All right. So if you have your agenda and visiting some classrooms, I feel like maybe these videos are not always paying close attention to, which I understand is hard, and they may not be super interesting, but I'm trying to make them quick. But hopefully your homeroom teachers, looking at you guys, 8th grade homeroom teachers, please make them pay attention to this part. Find an agenda or a piece of paper, whatever you want. We're going to take a little quiz. Okay, no right or wrong answers. It's just a checkup for this decision in your life. Okay, and if you ever think, well, the dating is non-existent so far, that's fine, but just you've had some level of experience with probably romantic feelings. So answer what you can. Okay? And if it doesn't really apply to you, just give yourself a 5, I guess. All right. So number 1, I carefully choose who I go out with and don't just date anybody. By the way, there are 10 questions. So if you found some paper and a pencil, thank you. You could totally do this on your Chromebook, even though that would open you up to some distraction, but you could just pull up a little dummy Google Doc for yourself and then erase it later or something. So remember, if that's not true for you, you're just like, okay, if they have a pulse, I'll go on a date with them. Versus 5, you're very thoughtful and careful about who you date, somewhere on that spectrum. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Number 2, I have decided beforehand what I will and won't do on a date. We'll talk later about why that's important. So if you ever do spend time with people, even if it's just a lunch trip to the ranch, are you aware beforehand of saying, this is my boundaries, this is what I'm doing? Or is it something you just decide in the moment? Okay, 1 through 5. 3, my romantic relationships are based on genuine friendship, not just the physical side of things. All right. So if you feel like you haven't had one of those ever, which is fine and good actually at your age, you just give yourself a 5. Okay. But hopefully, if you've had one, it's based on a real, actual connection with somebody, not just physical stuff. 4. Number 4, I feel good about the decisions I'm making when it comes to dating and sex. That's really just your level of self-confidence and self-satisfaction. If you feel like you've made sound decisions and haven't put yourself in any harm's way emotionally, physically, give yourself a 5. Okay, if you're being smart. Are you being healthy? My romantic relationships are healthy. And I don't want to elaborate. You guys answer the questions 1 through 5, but healthy for hopefully certainly yourself, but the people that are also in those relationships with you, even if they've ended. Number 6, this should apply to everybody. You can't say, well, I haven't dated yet. How well has the school system or your parents, and maybe a combination of both, informed you about STDs, pregnancy, and the emotional risks of having sex? Okay. No clue what I'm talking about. 1, if you feel like you've got all the information in front of you, understand it, give yourself a 5. Number 7, I have not ever centered my life on a boyfriend or girlfriend. We've talked about centers and principles with 7 Habit stuff before, and you want to have who you are, your values, your principles in the middle. You never want to put one thing, even if it's a good thing like sports or school, solely in the middle because you may lose out on those other priorities. So have you ever made your boyfriend or girlfriend the most important thing in your world? If you have, be honest, give yourself a 1. If you have not, give yourself a 5. 8, 9, and 10. Hopefully I'm not going too fast. Remember, you guys are just going to write down the number when you're done. Tie's a little crooked there. 8, I have the courage to say no to things I don't want to do. Pretty important. 8, even if you have decided beforehand where your boundaries are, you may need in that moment to be courageous. 9, I treat my body with respect. And 10, I am waiting until I'm in a long-term committed relationship before having sex. All right. So we should have a number on there, 1 through 10. Hopefully homeroom teachers are helping me out taking this quiz. Should have given you a precursor. This is your business, nobody else's. All right. If you feel like sharing it, fine, but no right or wrong answers. So when you're done, I don't know if it says this on the next slide or not, but please add up your scores. All right. So the highest would be 50. You got 10 questions, the possible 5, and then on from there. So do some quick math, add those up, get yourself a total score. And like we've done before, what does that mean? Oh, hey, add up your scores. It does say something. Well, here's our little translation. Remember, these are decisions that you'll have to make in your teen years that are very important, the six most important, but they're also based on many micro decisions. So if you're ever at a spot where you feel like you're a little low on any of these, it's okay. You can do better. So if you got between 40 and 50, things are looking pretty good with that decision about dating and sex. Okay, you're on the high road. You're making smart choices. You're safe. Keep it up. 30 through 39, you're on the high road and the low road a little bit. Okay, you need to start making some better decisions, get to higher ground. And if you're between 10 and 29, 10 would be really sad because you gave yourself all ones. You're on the low road. Pay special attention to the lessons in this chapter that I'm going to try to give you. I wanted to point out to you too that on that sort of self-questionnaire status check, it didn't say, do you have a boyfriend right now? Or how many girls have you dated? Okay, that's not most relevant. Okay, these questions that we're asking now are the most relevant. Okay, because relationships are going to come and go, but your own mental safety, excuse me, can't talk at the end of the day, your own well-being is what's most important for sure. I think that's pretty much it. A quote for the day. I looked around for some dating quotes, and there wasn't anything I liked. They're either kind of cheesy or whatever. So I just gave you one of my own. I would just remind you, and we'll talk about this a lot in this next couple of lessons. I remember telling a group a few years ago in pod that they came away with like, Schaefer said we should start dating now, and they were really excited. We'll talk about when's the best time to start. You guys are moving into high school. You're getting closer than a sixth grader for sure. But just remember that teen dating should always be casual and fun. Okay, it shouldn't be about drama. Shouldn't be about these big serious things. If you're in a situation where you ever feel pressure to do something, controlled by the other person, or ever scared or unsafe, end things as soon as possible. And I just included a picture of Mark Twain because it was already on here, and I figured that's kind of what I'm going to look like in a few years anyway. So look forward to talking to you guys about these things. This is an especially sad one that we're not in person, because I know you guys would be giggling and getting red faces, and I would kind of laugh at you and I could tease you. But hopefully it's worthwhile. All right. Thanks again for doing your adult trusted person and adding